is fingerprint pattern. So, before natin i-identify yung mga fingerprint pattern, aalamin muna natin kung ano yung pattern area. Kasi yung pattern area ay napakahalaga sa pag-identify ng fingerprint patterns. So, what is the pattern area? Yung pattern area daw is the part of a fingerprint which lies within the area surrounded by the type lines. So, nakapalibot daw sa pattern area yung type lines na kung saan nandun sa loob ng pattern area yung core at yung delta, pati yung mga ridges formation para ma-identify natin yung fingerprint pattern kung anong klaseng fingerprint pattern siya. Yung itsura ng pattern area, ito siya. Dito sa loob, yung pattern area, yan. Kung saan nakalagay ito yung delta, ito yung delta, represent as letter C. And yung core naman, dito nakalagay yung core sa center. Ito siya, dito siya nakalagay yung core. So, ito yung pattern area. And yung type lines naman, so ano yung type lines? Yung type lines are the basic boundary of fingerprint patterns. So, boundary siya. So, ang type lines dito, yung letter A at letter B. A and B, yan yung mga type lines. So, malulocate daw natin kung saan nakalagay yung type lines sa pamamagitan ng two innermost ridges which run parallel. So, yung pinaka-innermost na dalawang ridge na nag-run parallel and then nag-diverge or separate to surround the pattern area. So, eto sila. Eto yung two innermost one, yung eh, letter letter A and letter B. So, dalawang ridge, innermost ridge na nag-run parallel and then nag-diverge para mag-surround doon sa pattern area. So, ito yung another example pa. This is a loop pattern and ito naman is a whirl pattern. So, yan. Yung pattern area and yung type lines is napakahalaga sa pag-identify ng fingerprint. Kasi unang titingnan kapag nag-identify ng fingerprint yung type lines. Titingnan kung saan yung type lines nakalagay para ma-identify, mahanap yung location ng delta at saka yung core. So, yan yung pattern area and type lines. So, mayroon tayong tinatawag na rules and tracing type lines kasi pag naglo-locate kayo ng type lines, kailangan may susundin kayong mga rules para malaman nyo kung saan talaga nakalagay yung type lines. First, when there is a definite break in a type line, the ridge immediately outside of it is considered as its continuation. So, kapag naputol daw yung type lines, sino daw yung susunod na type line? So, ano daw yung susunod na type line? Ito yung halimbawa. Yung sa rule number 1, ang sabi dito, definite break in a type line. So, naputol daw. O, ito yung type line natin. Ito pa, sa taas. Yan yung type line. So, biglang naputol yung type line. So, ang sabi dito, the ridge immediately outside of its considered as its continuation. So, yung kasunod niya, yan yung considered as type line. Ito yung kasunod ng first na naputol na type line. After putol na naman siya and then eto na yung kasunod na type line. Yan. Yan yung rule number 1. Next, sometimes type lines may be short. So, minsan daw yung type lines ay napakaikli lang. So, ito yung halimbawa niya. Ito yung very short na type line, nag-run parallel, sabay sila nag-run parallel. Sila yung type line natin kasi sila yung pinaka-innermost ridges na nag-run parallel and then nag-diverge. O, yan. Yan yung type line natin. And ito yung rule na nasa number 2. Sometimes type lines may be very short. 3. When the forks run parallel after bifurcating and then diverge, in such a case, the two forks became the two innermost ridges. Ito yung halimbawa niya. As you can see sa image, mayroong innermost ridges na may pinaka-innermost ridges. Eto siya. Yan. And then, nag-diverge. So, hindi siya mako-considered as type line kasi yung type line two innermost ridges na nag-run parallel. So, hindi siya kasi isa lang yung ridge and then nag-diverge. So, hindi siya considered as type line. Yung type line is eto. Yan yung type line natin. Yan yung when the forks run parallel after bifurcating and then diverge. Eto siya. Nag-diverge. Nag-run parallel and then nag-diverge. In such a case, the two forks became the two innermost ridges. Sila yung pinaka-innermost ridges pero hindi pa rin sila considered as type line kasi isa lang yung nag-run parallel. Okay, next is number 4. An angular formation cannot be used as a type lines. Ito yung halimbawa niya. So, as you can see sa image, angular formation. Yung angular formation, ito siya. Yan, angular formation. Ito yung angular formation. Hindi daw siya mako-considered as type lines. Kasi di ba yung yung definition ng type lines is two innermost ridges. So, nasa pinaka-innermost ridges siya. So, ang partner niya is eto. Pero nakalagay sa rule na hindi pwedeng maging type line yung angular formation. So, yung magiging type line natin is yung letter C at yung letter D. So, sila yung magiging type line natin. Next, component parts of fingerprint pattern, ridge surface. Yung ridge surface daw is the component of friction skin that actually forms the fingerprint impression. Ito yung ridge surface. So yung ridge surface natin, mayroon diyang nakalagay na ridges. So yung ridges are the tiny elevation or hill-like structure found on the epidermis layer of the skin containing sweet pores. So yung nakikita nyo sa image na color black, yan yung mga ridges. Yan yung mga tiny elevation or hill-like structure o bundok. Sila yung tinatawag na ridges, yung color black. Oh. Number 2, yung furrows. Yung furrows are the canal-like impression or a depression found between the ridges which may be compared with low area in the thread. So, makikita nyo yung nasa fingerprint pattern, yung color white, yan yung furrows. Yung black, yan yung ridge. Yung ridge, yan yung bundok. And yung furrows naman, yan daw yung canal na impression. Depressed portion ng ridge surface. After natin sa ridge surface, dito na tayo sa sweet gland structure also. Yung first is sweet pores. Ito yung small opening found anywhere across the ridge surface where the sweat comes out. So ito daw yung maliit na butas sa ibabaw na nakalagay doon sa ridge na kung saan may lumalabas na likido or pawis. So, yan yung sweet pores. Ito yung halimbawa niya. As you can see sa image, makikita nyo yung mga butas na may lumalabas. Yung lumalabas na tubig is yan yung mga likido or pawis na galing sa sweat gland. So, yung poro, ito yung ridge. So, makikita nyo, may mga lumalabas na tubig kasi naka-open yung pores. Okay, yan yung sweet pores. Next, yung sweet duct is a long hose-like structure that serves as the passageway for the sweat that exit at its mouth o yung tinatawag nating pore. So, yan yung sweet duct, yung mahabang hose. Ito siya. Ito yung sweet duct. Dito dumadaan yung mga sweet yan, palabas sa pores, sa butas. Dito. Next, sweat glands are formed in the dermis layer of the skin which responsible for the production of sweat o watery substance. So, dito siya nakalagay sa pinakailalim. Dito nakalagay yung sweat gland. Siya yung nagpo-produce ng is. Okay, yan yung sweat gland structure.